Okay, there we go. So I'm back on a good upload schedule. So that means that even though today is June 30th, this video will be going up on July 1st. So we are officially at the 50% mark. There's 365 days. Is this a leap year? No, this is this leap year in 2 years. Yeah, so we're right there. We're at 182 and a half, or however that change adds up, so it's not as though to make any progress you have to be at a certain place from end of year to beginning of year. That's just an arbitrary time constraint, because that's how we measure time. But it's not a bad approximation of, did you get some shit done? Did you make some shit happen? And it doesn't have to be insane. It doesn't have to be something that other people even notice. But things for you, right? So if you do your own little personal progression audit, are you exactly the same? Are you worse? Have you been kind of slowing down? Do you notice that some bad habits have begun to show their face a little bit more often, and they're taken away from your energy and time to do some of the things that you really want to do? That sort of self-reflection, I think, is going to be good for you. And I'm not saying you specifically, I just mean like people in general, including myself. One thing I'm trying to work on, not the biggest problem in the world, but definitely something that's just like is trying to stop scrolling on my phone so much. It's just it's nothing. I'm not even watching a show. It's just terrible. So that's one of my things I'm trying to work on. But yeah, man, 6 months in, going from 6 to 7 with July. What are you gonna do the next 6? And I feel like, I don't know, has that ever worked? Like, I'd love to hear if you had a moment where you watched a video of someone say something, like a call to action, or, like a Rich Piana, the more you put in, the more you get out type situation. That was a good one for me. I definitely remember getting amped up when I heard that for the first time. But yeah, some people don't want to hear it. They've got selective deafness to that sort of hype and that sort of message. It just in one ear, out the other, if it even gets in one ear in the first place. So it's getting warm, things are slowing down. It's summertime is a very comfortable period, and honestly, you can kind of look at every season, every chunk of 3 months in the year as a very comforting sort of thing. You'd say, oh, wintertime, it's cozy. It's like it's the holidays. It's very relaxing. It's the summer. Come on, man, you gotta chill for the summer, right? Come on, you've been freaking hustling your classes all year, dude. Come on, you going to the gym? Oh, nuts. Beginning of the year, I guess. Yeah, beginning of the year is usually pretty hype. We get the New Year's resolution kind of mindset. And then end of summer, fall, it's like, ooh, it's getting cold again. All right, better start cozying up a little bit more than normal. I don't know, just random things like that, And I try not to let that influence whatever mindset I might have in the current moment. Like, I'll get some flack on occasion for this, where I'll say something like, I'm lifting on Christmas, or I'm dieting through Thanksgiving, or, this, that, or the other. When it comes to like just prioritizing something over a conventional, deprioritized kind of time. It's like, really, you only eat, that's a big plate of turkey, man. You don't want any mashed potatoes, And that's not a rhetorical answer to that question. I think there is a blend where you plan specifically to have like more of a refeed on a holiday, or on a Thanksgiving, or like a Christmas or something. But the idea that you can just trash your goals on a whim, just completely dump them at the drop of a hat from any external circumstance, whether it's like a person telling you, hey man, we're all going to do this, are you coming, or like a whatever. I mean, it's like, how bad did you want it in the first place? How bad did you really want it if after 6 seconds of prying you say, all right, shit, I'm skipping legs, man. Come on, let's go to beat-ups. All right, so this is actually Sam from the future. The lift is already complete. 'Twas a badass pump. But July 1st, which would be today at noon until July 2nd at 5 p.m., I think Eastern Standard Time, so it may deviate a little bit back and forth, but any of the pre-mixed pens on newbiorx.com are going to be 50% off. So if you're already in the space, that is pretty substantial. So that's just going to be a one-day deal. But back to the car, code SAMPEN50. So back to the talk. Buy one, get one boneless wings. Okay, this diet is going into a bulk. I've seen that happen far too many times. Not so much in person, but I've definitely seen it happen on social media where it's somebody locking in on a diet. They're saying they're for real. This is more like bodybuilder type kind of characters. And it's like, dude, I'm getting real. I'm locked, shredded this summer. I'm getting peeled this summer. And then, you know, I'm on my phone like anybody else. Scrolls up. Fuck. I'm these guys are doing full-on mukbangs when 2 weeks ago they're talking about ab veins and glute striations, you know. So my key takeaway from that is talk is talk, right? Talk is talk is talk is talk. You know, how strange would it be if I would, you know, get in the car, hit the record button on the camera, and say something like, "All right, guys, I'm gonna get lean. I'm gonna diet down this summer. I'm gonna get ab veins again." Ooh, excuse me. Haven't taken my pre yet, but I'm like, I'm gonna get serious. I'm gonna do a show, you know, or whatever. And then it turns into a boy who cried wolf if all I did was just keep eating a bunch of shit. And, you know, just actually, I decided to extend the bulk. I'm just replenishing my glycogen. It's like, oh my God, man. Not cool. But nothing else to say there. Let's just drink this scoop, and I think I got a scoop and a third worth of some Super Savage. And since it's a leg day, I want to drink that right before I walk into the gym. You know, so I'll park, sip it, and then get real, because I want it to be, you know, I want to kind of feel the caffeine's energy kind of effect about 20 minutes in, you know. So I'll do hamstrings first, and by the time hamstrings are done, that's where I'm starting to feel like fully caffeinated, so a little bit more rejuvenated to get into quads. That's kind of the mindset there. But yeah, nothing else to say. Let's just go thrash legs. They should look pretty cool today. Obviously, the mirror will tell, but let's just say I'm optimistic is a good way to put it. So let's get started. All right, let's get started. So, not my typical start, but from going to Pro's gym down in Columbus, they have a legit kneeling curl. So that's where it's plate loaded on the side, but the gist of it is standing up. Usually you put one knee on something or whatever. This doesn't have it, but that's fine. And you're doing a single leg curl in this fashion. Now, if you have a hammer strength leg extension like this one, you can, it depends. You know, there's nothing stopping you from using like a Life Fitness or whatever. It's just got to be at the right height. So I've got 3 plates underneath here to try to raise my knee joint a little closer to this pivot point so that it's just a more natural movement. But just as a light squeezing kind of hamstring curl, I like this a lot. So this is a little bit more pumpish. Like, I'm not going to hold the stretch for 5 seconds and then go back up. Like, I'm going to hold the stretch much longer than a laying curl, but I'd almost consider this like like if I had to come up with a bicep curl equivalent, this would be like grabbing the 30s and just doing quicker reps. You know, you're getting a good squeeze on top, but you're not doing a 50 and you're not doing no weight at all like a preacher or anything. It's just right in the middle. But my favorite part is it's just different. So let's get this started and then move on from here. Probably, I don't know, a couple sets or something. Okay, one more. Yeah. Okay. One more. 55 instead of 40. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's rip some leg curls now. 2. Yeah. 2. Okay. All right, I lied. One more like that. Woo. Two. Okay, one more at that weight. And then the next one I'm going to make lighter with a really nasty squeeze and burn on top. Oh. Okay, let's drop it to 60 for this next one. Okay. All right, let's do a seated curl now. Whew, probably only one, and then I'll be ready for quads. Not too heavy, not too light. This finisher set is going to be just right. So 200 pounds, I'm going to squeeze and hold, but I can't hold 10 reps, so I'll probably get to hold like 6 and then burn out partials, and that'll be it for hams. That'll be all he wrote. Okay. Let's start leg extending. All right, this is gonna be a primer set. So I'm gonna do all the left leg, all the right leg, squeeze and hold for like 2 seconds. And then, well, I might do 2 of these. And after that, like after doing light squeezing leg extensions, it feels better to go heavier and do more pumpish ones, because now my quads are firing, my knees and my tendons and shit are all exposed to some weight. Like, you're not just gonna rip a 1 rep max out of nowhere, right? You gotta warm up into it. So the same thing goes with a heavier, nastier set, right? By starting with some light squeezing stuff, at least in a proper warm up, or make your first few sets light squeezing. I like that approach. I used to not like that approach, because in my head I'm thinking start heavy. No, man, you're good. You're good with the light squeezing with the start. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Holy crap. Oh, shit. All right, one more. Well, one more of that style, rather. Oh my God. All right, let's do a double leg set now. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's too heavy. Let's drop it for this next one. Goodness. All right. This will be more of a light squeezing burning to start. And then I'm going to jump around, hold onto the back of the seat for stability. And the way that you do a sissy squat in this fashion is I like putting I pretty much put my feet completely together. Like, I don't know. I'm not a chimp, so I don't have thumbs on my hands. But if these are my feet, then my heels are going to touch and the end of my toes are going to touch, maybe a little bit splayed outward. And I don't want to bend at my waist. I only want my knees to bend. So my whole body sort of moves in this like arching fashion. And it's such a good stretch on your quads with only body weight that I don't feel like I'm like, hurting myself or stressing anything. So I can really bounce up and down through that stretch position. I mean, if you said, Sam, you need to get your quads as pumped as possible, we're going to grade your quad pump. And if you don't maximize how much blood flow you get in your quads, we're going to put the dogs on you, right? Or some shit like that. I would be doing sissy squats at the end of my last leg extension superset just because it's so effective. Well, I was about to say something, I forget, but just because it's so effective at pooling blood into my quads. I feel like it's like you're putting a towel underwater, completely squishing it and then opening it back up. Like you're just really sapping it up, if you feel me. But for some, it may hurt your knees. I'd say you just got to try and see. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, man. Ugh. Oh. Oh. Ugh. Okay. One more. And I think that's all. All right. So for this one, I'm going to do some half reps. So what I really mean, go up halfway, pause, kill the momentum, then finish the rest of the rep. I like this on leg extensions, leg curls on occasion, and bicep curls. Not every movement, or not every muscle group, but for those three, it's solid. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, shit. All right. Let's see how quads are looking. All right, I am puffing. Primary reason, due to the heat. It is warm in here. But also after a leg day, even if it was just hamstring curls and leg extensions with sissy squats, that's not nothing. So when it comes to this pump, what are we expecting? All right, let's be real. Veins, cuts, striations, all of the above. I mean, shit, hopefully all the above. Okay, let's yeah, let's just keep this like that. I can definitely feel the lack of glycogen from eating, only mid-ish 2,000 calories the last few days. But even with that relative calorie nerf, I mean, quads are still feeling pretty substantially wide, especially just hitting like a standing shot where I'm really like trying to widen them up. I mean, that ain't nothing, that's for sure. Oh my gosh. Yeah, even just standing like this, I can kind of feel that they're getting tight. But whoa, is that a little bit of hamstring separation? Not a crazy amount, but chill. Oh, I was about to say, but shit, but still. Any amount of hamstring separation is substantial. So I can feel just on like a pinchable skin kind of test, pretty slim, but even this can be improved upon in terms of net total kind of, let's just say, freakiness of leanness. Because if I lose a couple more pounds of body fat, which depending on your current weight and body fat percentage, a few pounds might not be a huge change. I mean, my legs can go from this to like a freaky cross-striated whatever. But that's all I got for legs. So I'll see you tomorrow for some chest.